welcome back. So if you're new here, my name is Mide, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 1-year lock update. Okay, and I'll be answering a couple of questions just to sum up the whole journey and the whole changes and challenges that I faced along the way. So the first question is how I started. I became frustrated with my hair, a lot of breakage, fake relaxer here and there, time wasted at the salon to, get to my turn, time wasted sitting down. Like I literally spent like minimum of 6 hours sitting down to make my hair, and this was the time that I was supposed to be resting at home. If you're a working mother, you understand what I mean, and the only time you have for your family and yourself is weekends. And I realized that I was spending a very long time trying to make my hair, at this particular period, crucial period, I would say. So I became fed up and I started making research as to what to do. I went on low cut at first, but I didn't like low cut. All right, so I looked for an alternative and I decided, okay, it is lock now. So coupled with the fact that I became aware of MICROLOCS, sister locks, okay, like the other type, traditional lock and all that, so I just felt MICROLOCS is going to be suitable, and so I decided, okay, I was going to do that. Why did I decide on MICROLOCS? I had the option of going for traditional lock, sister locks and MICROLOCS, but when I look at traditional locks, I realized that I didn't want that chunky looking lock. I did not really, I felt it wasn't going to be okay for me. And then I looked back at my journey, while I was still carrying my hair before. I normally go for braid and usually feathers, so I knew that that size was going to be perfect for my look. The only reason why I did not go for sister lock was the initial cost of installation, and then I wasn't so sure of the sizes. They are so tiny, like you have a particular size that you have to cut your hair, and they have a particular technique that they use, so it can only be done by a professional actually. So I was just new into it and I didn't know if I would be able to do it or not, if I'll be able to manage it or not. So what method did I start with? Okay, there are several methods that you can actually start with. You can start MICROLOCS with braid, and you can start MICROLOCS with 2-strand twist. So I decided to go for twist just because I found it easier. That is how I started. I didn't even think of it. I didn't even think twice. I just felt, wow, this is it. So and I went for it. I was quite comfortable with the twist at the initial stage. Like for a few weeks, I'll say it will still look like twisted hair. So, and then after a while, the frizz start to set in. When you start to clean and wash your hair, you start experiencing frizz, and this varies. It's not the same for everybody. It has a lot to do with the texture of your hair and the type of hair you have. I have 4C hair. It is quartz and it is kinky. It is quite thick. Okay, one of the difficulties I was experiencing when I was loose natural, okay, a lot of people try to avoid my hair when I go to braid because they know that they're going to spend hours braiding my hair. What are my challenges along the way? Like one of the challenges of locks is lint, and when it comes to lint, I discovered several ways that I could protect my hair from lint. Okay, you could literally get lint anywhere. You could get it right in your home. You could get it outside of your home, like just walking along the way and breeze blows some sort of particles into your hair, and then lint could be gotten also from your clothing and all that. So the protective measure that I put in place was to make sure that I cover my hair most of the time. Okay, even if I'm at home and I'm not going out, I'm just going around there doing my things, I still cover my hair. If you are the type that is finding it difficult to tie your hair up or cover it all the time, what you could do is to use satin pillow certain pillowcase when you want to sleep, okay? And then you could just tie your scarf or your cap or whatever it is that you're going to be using loosely so that it does not affect you. So that's one of the things that I put in place, and I always look out for the lint, because one thing about lint is that if you are not aware of when it actually gets into your hair and you allow it to stay for a while, a long time, it's going to get buried into the lock and it will be a bit difficult to bring out. So another measure that I put in place was to make sure that I don't miss my washing routine. If you wash your hair regularly, you will be able to avoid lint with that practice, okay? Another challenge I faced is the frizz. Because my hair was short, and I found it difficult to style at the initial stage. So when it started looking frizzy, so it was all over the place and I wasn't so comfortable with the looks. After a while, I realized that I could just cover it up with a fancy head wrap or cap when I'm going out. As time goes on, I became used to that. You know, after you tie it up, you cover it up, and maybe you just, you know, make yourself to look beautiful, make up your face and look fine, and then just use a tie that matches or look good on you. So another thing is that since I started it myself, initially I didn't find it funny interlocking my hair myself. I had to learn all that, but thank God right now I'm so good at interlocking that I'm even fast at it, and I don't spend a long time interlocking my hair anymore. So that's one thing that I'm so like happy for. So another struggle that I had with it was the length. It was short and I was finding it difficult to style. So at a point I decided to just add hair extension to it. I became like a bit satisfied with it, so I was enjoying it until I wasn't anymore. And just because the texture of the extension I added was quite different from the texture of my hair, like there was a stark difference, and later I became uncomfortable with it, so I decided to just remove it. And by the time I removed it, I realized that my hair has really grown out, you know, a bit. Like it wasn't even like this at that time, but right now it has really grown out and it's like behaving now. It's looking okay now. And my advice to anyone starting lock is that lock is a journey, and by the time you familiarize yourself with the stages, when it's set in, you won't be caught unaware, okay? It will be something that you are expecting, all right? And then you would have learned along the way to just get used to it and manage it well. So that was what happened to me. I learned to like have a routine as to when I wash my hair, when I oil my hair, and all that. The other struggle I had was at a point I experienced dandruff, and that was because I was not really paying attention to how I oil my hair. Initially I started with olive oil and it was working fine for me, not until it wasn't, and I later discovered that it was how I was applying it. Okay, it wasn't regular, all right? I was doing like once every 2 weeks, you know, at least, and then in between my scalp became dry and then it became itchy. So I went out and I got tea tree oil. So I added tea tree oil to the olive oil and I added a little bit of it to my shampoo, all right? I also got myself rose water. So I added rose water to the ordinary water that I use to moisturize the hair, and after that the itchy stopped, because you know I now started oiling my hair like once or twice in a week, and that was how the itching stopped. When it comes to cleanliness of the locks, it depends on your lifestyle. Whether you are the type that exercise a lot, whether you're the type that has outdoor job, then it means that you're going to be exposing your hair to a lot of dust. And if you exercise a lot, then it means you will be sweating a lot, and so you need to wash your hair regularly as possible. In that way, then you'll be assured that your hair is going to grow beautifully well, look clean and attractive in that way, and then you're going to be avoiding, odor. Like, those are the kind of things that cause odor. My next question is, what are my plan? All right, so I don't really have a particular plan, like a goal. All right, I'm going about with my life and I'm not worrying so much, over my hair anymore. What I'm going to do to it, like every week or every other week, the way it used to be, I'm just right now making sure that I'm taking care of it and it's growing nicely. If it could grow as long as as long as my waist, as long as my butt, fine. Like, I don't mind, let it grow out. Like, it's just going to give me a beautiful look that I can't even wait to get. Okay, like, if I didn't mention, like, I started my hair December 27, 2021, and it's like 13 months now ago that I started the hair, and it has really grown out. There have been difference in my hair. There have been difference, and I know that by the time it all become fully matured, it's going to look different. Some are hard already, okay, some are still soft. It's not hard all the way. Why did I use interlock to retie my hair? I found interlocking techniques quite easy. I found it convenient, okay, and I realized that MICROLOCS is just too small for you to twist. That is the reason why I am not even putting twists into consideration. Like, I have a sister that has locks, a very long locks. The way she started is quite different from my own. I'll say her own is traditional lock, and she started it with sponge brush, that type, and then she continued to maintain it with comb curls. All right, and then people have their different ways, they have their different methods they want to use. So I just find interlocking technique quite convenient, and I'm so good at it now. So my advice to anyone that is just starting his or her lock is that its lock journey needs a lot of patience for you to go through it, okay? And you just have to, like, just get busy with your life and leave the hair to do its things. Once you know the stages that you are to expect, when it sets in, you will not be taken unaware, and then you will learn along the way how to manage your hair and how to manage your look. Like, what I do most of the time when I'm not like so into the way I am looking, I just kind of mat it up, brush my hair and go my way, or I just tie it up with a fancy scarf and I go my way. I would say that lock is decision, that one of the decisions you make in your life, as to what to do with yourself, okay, how to manage yourself well. It is low maintenance hairstyle and it is so liberating. Then whatever it is that you might want to do with your hair later, then it will be like a choice. It will not be something that is important or something that you are forced to do. Like, if you want to cover your hair with wig, or like you have a particular you want to cover your hair with, there is a way you can do it, especially if you're carrying MICROLOCS. Like, you just mat your hair down, cover it, but then you will know it is not something that you must do all the time, or like you must get this particular wig or you must get this particular hairstyle. It is something that you grow into. You just get used to it. You get used to just going your way and not bothering your head on what to do with your hair, what style to go for this week, what style not to go for, what can I do, what can I not do, and stuff like that. All right, so I'll say I'm loving the journey, all right, already. And what I'm planning to do next is maybe I'm going to add another extension to my hair, because I really love the way my hair was looking when I added extension to it. So right now I'm just on the lookout for a particular hair extension that is going to be like a bit suitable. Okay, and the mistake I made previously was the color that I used. I wanted that color to match the color of my hair, everything to blend together, and believe me, it was a mistake that I'm sure not going to repeat again, because when I removed the extension, I found it difficult to remove it completely from my lock. Like for months they were still in my lock and I did not know, just because they are of the same color. So that is that for the journey, the experience, and it's ongoing, it's still going. And I don't know, maybe like in the next 6 months I'll be giving an update on the hair again. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. Stay blessed, stay beautiful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.